Today I'm heading out for my last required flight. We're gonna knock out two things in one flight. So I have my solo tower. So we're gonna knock out that solo tower. I have to do my 3 landings to a full stop by myself. So I'm gonna do that finally. And I also need an hour and like 47 minutes of solo left. I've already completed my 5 hours of cross country, but I needed a total of 10 hours of solo flight. So we're gonna make this whole thing last hopefully around 2 hours worth of flight time. That's the plan for today, and I'll be done with my requirement. It's nice weather. Winds aren't too bad. They were 2.8 at 6. The windsock right there pointing directly down 2.8, which is perfect because that's going to be my runway, which is 2.8. I've seen several planes landing. That one looks like it's about to take off. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty busy day. Now right here, this is the plane that I'll be flying. It's not the one that I'm used to flying, but this is 4459 Juliet. And in the distance right there, you can see a helicopter taking off. They're always doing their thing out here. Yeah, paint job's a lot better on this plane. It's not really too much newer than the other plane, but just a different tail number. But this is what I'll be flying to Newport News. All right, at this time, I'm going to show you a little pre-flight. I don't often get to do a pre-flight check, but I thought it would be pretty cool to just run through a pre-flight real quick, show you all the steps and all the things that you go through. At this point, we're just, looking at the lights, making sure our lights are on, navigation lights, tail light, beacon light, making sure all those things are in working condition. Then we're going through all the hinges, making sure the flight controls are free and clear. Then we have to sump our gas tanks to make sure that there's no water in the gas tank. Pour it back in, check the levels as far as how much gas we have in each, looking at our oil, making sure our oil is good, that we have enough for the flight, checking the prop, checking the air filters. Right here I'm checking the brake fluid. We're gonna sump some of the gas out of the engine compartment right here and sumping more gas and taking off the cover for the pitot mast. And we're gonna finish our walk around by going to the next wing, making sure we're free and clear, and then checking the elevators and everything. And that's pretty much it. All right, we are recording. Interior flaps are up. We got the hobs from the last one. Startup avionics are off. We don't have an autopilot. Carb heat is off. Mixture, throttle slide. Let's pump the brakes. These brakes need a little bit of pumping. All right, let's throttle slight right there. We don't need prime, we got our brakes on. Clear prop. Master on. All right, I believe we have audio. Master's on, beacons on, landing lights on, fuel pump is on. We're gonna go to mag left, and we are going to start her up. We are on, max to both. Fuel pump is off. Oil pressure came up. Fuel pressure is up. We're just gonna wait for these oil temperatures to rise. Those are gonna come up as well. All right, now we can cut on our avionics. Our radio, our transponder is on. All right, so we are there, and air tower is 118.7, but we're not ready for that yet. All right, Hampton Roads traffic, 4459 Juliet, taxiing from the west ramp to runway 28, Hampton Roads traffic. This plane wants to move on taxi. But my apologies, but I did not put the 360 camera or the outside camera out there. I completely forgot about that. There's a lot going on. New plane. Had a lot of things to get set up here. Let's go up to the hold short. Don't see anybody. I don't hear anybody. Just birds, lots of them. Still nothing from no one. Alright. Hampton Roads traffic 4459 Juliet, taking off runway 28, Hampton Roads traffic. Nobody's making any calls. We are clear to go. Fuel pump is on. Slowly pushing in our full throttle. We got our right rudder. We're looking for our 60. There we go. He is off. We are up in the air, flying. We're going to climb out to our 1,000 feet, and then we're going to turn onto course towards Newport News. We have hit 500. We are climbing about 700, 800, 900 feet per minute, actually. That's a lot for this plane, 1,000 feet a minute. I'd say that this plane handles better than the other plane does. Alright, we have hit our 1,000 feet. And we are going to head out towards the north. Now look out for those towers right there. We're only going to 2,500.
monitor Merrimack. We're going to head towards the James River Bridge. Start crossing towards that way. This plane is, I would say, more comfortable. The seats, they're more cushy. I am getting a carbon monoxide reading in here as well. We have cleared those towers. Let's hear what they got to say over here.
Sky is clear. Temperature 13, dew point -2, altimeter 3018. Please report to runway 25 News, landing for runway 25 and 20. North Airman. Runway 25, glide slope and reel out of service. Cape Charles VOR out of service. Numerous obstructions in the vicinity of Newport News Heights and the Delta. Tower Light out of service, 1.3 miles north-northeast, 170 feet MSL. As well for these regional flight source frequencies, about contact via Bravo. Newport News Confirmation Bravo, 1654 Zulu, wind 28011, gust 21, visibility 10, sky is clear, temperature 13, dew point -2, altimeter 3018. Please report to runway 25 News, landing for runway 25 and 20. North Airman. Runway 25, glide slope and reel out of service. Cape Charles VOR out of service. Numerous obstructions in the vicinity of Newport News Heights and the Delta. Tower Light out of service, 1.3 miles north-northeast, 170 feet MSL. As well for these regional flight source frequencies, about contact via Bravo. Newport News Confirmation Bravo, 1654 Zulu, wind 28011, gust 21. Visibility 10, sky is clear, temperature 13, dew point -2, altimeter 3018. Please report to runway 25 News, landing for runway 25 and 20. North Airman. Runway 25, glide slope and reel out of service. Cape Charles VOR out of service. Numerous obstructions in the vicinity of Newport News Heights and the Delta. Tower Light out of service, 1.3 miles north-northeast, 170 feet MSL. As well for these regional flight source frequencies, about contact via Bravo.
So this is the point where things get a little bit off. Now, you know, I'm busy fooling around with the radio. It's a different radio that I'm used to messing with. So getting used to it, you heard before, I got the weather for the airport, but if you look at the attitude indicator and you look at the plane, they're getting off sync from each other. But that's not the only thing. You can also look at the vacuum pressure, and I have vacuum. My my altimeter, that's also going off. You can't see that because that's being hidden by the iPad. And then eventually my airspeed indicator, my vertical speed indicator starts to get off as well. Now I'm flying straight and level, but that's not what the attitude indicator is showing. And mind you, I'm going to a towered airport, and I'm just now noticing this.
Okay, that's no good. So what is going on is I've just lost. Okay, so we're turning around. I just lost.
It's an attitude indicator.
My
couldn't get the words out.
Coordinator right here.
A lot going on in my mind.
So we are heading back to the airport.
Just had to make those split decisions. Wasn't a life or death thing, but Just needed to make the decision and go with it. Like they say, aviate, navigate, communicate.
November 358, appreciate your proof.
Exchange approved, 358.
So one of the things that happens when you're flying and something happens is your state of mind really changes. You go to this almost overly heightened sense of awareness. It's a little distracting as well because you're focused on the task at hand, and then things start to become overwhelming slightly. But that's what the training is for. You go through your procedures. So my instruments, I'm not trusting them at this point. So what I do is I pull out the iPad, and the iPad was already there, but I start relying on that just a little bit, some of the GPS features for the iPad.
All right, let me go back to Hampton Roads. 118.375. No, 122.725. There we go.
And I'm listening to hear any traffic. It's awfully quiet at KPVG, which is not that normal. I'm not used to it being that quiet. So I'm wondering at this point, did I even put it in the correct way? I'm not used to this radio. So all this is coming
traffic radio check
at the same time. I asked for the radio check, no one's responding back. So it's just so much going on. In my mind, everything is broke right now. And the only thing that I'm trusting is my iPad, and somewhat because that's giving me a GPS altitude. I'm trusting my eyes because I'm looking outside, seeing everything. But I'm double checking, triple checking to make sure I got the frequency right. It's right, but you have doubts because things stop working, so doubt creeps in. And you can see in this next shot my VSI is pointed pretty much straight down.
I don't see anybody in the pattern. I don't hear anybody.
That's definitely not correct.
Hampton Roads traffic, Piper Cub radio check.
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Piper Cub is at the West Hangars taxiing out the runway 28, Hampton Roads traffic.
Now that gave me more confidence knowing that I was on the right frequency, and it allowed me to relax a little bit more.
Hampton Roads traffic 4459 Juliet on the crosswind for runway 28 Hampton Roads traffic.
So everything at this point is all visual reference. I'm not trusting any of the instruments at this point. So it's all line of sight. I know about how high everything looks from flying in this pattern so often. I know exactly where I should be. So that's what I'm going based off of. Not the instruments, except for, like the engine and stuff like that, the RPMs. I'm looking at that and just making it happen.
Hampton Roads traffic 4459 Juliet, downwind for runway 28 Hampton Roads traffic. All right. Have to do this on another day. I am not feeling that at all. I was all set to get my stuff done. That did not work out. It's all good. Stuff happens when you're flying, I'll talk to the head CFI about it, the equipment stuff that I see, and we'll go from there. Getting a little bumpy right here. It's all good. We are beating the numbers. Bringing her down to our 1700 RPMs. We are within those limits. All right, there we go. Just slowing down nice and good. Hampton Roads traffic, 4459 Juliet, base for runway 28, Hampton Roads traffic. This will count as solo time, but it's not the amount of time that I need. So I'm delayed again, but it's all good. Attitude indicator went completely out on me.
Hampton Roads traffic, Piper Cup is crossing runway 102, correction, runway 220, Hampton Roads traffic.
Hampton Roads traffic, 4459 Juliet, turning final for runway 28, Hampton Roads traffic.
I'm just going to give warning in advance, but I have no excuses, none whatsoever, for this landing. I apologize to you viewers, I apologize to myself, and I'm apologizing to that plane. I have no excuse, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just so you can see, I was in a little bit of a forward slip. Had a little crosswind going, so I had some rudder in to keep that center line and counteracting. But what I should have did here was I should have kept that throttle in, and I didn't. Yeah,
that hurt.
Not physically hurt. It hurt my feelings. It hurt all of my emotions to hit the ground like that. The plane was just fine. But that brought me back to the first times that, you know, I was learning how to land. I'm so disappointed in that landing. So disappointed.
That was my worst one ever. Make it up this runway.
Yeah. I should have kept that throttle in and flew through it a little bit more. I know better than that. I really do. But again, this is a debriefing for me, for all of you. It won't happen again.
Hampton Roads traffic, 4459 Juliet, clear runway 28, Hampton Roads traffic. Okay, this is not favorite plane of mine. I have to fly some more time in here to get used to it. It feels completely different.
All right. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. This one definitely wasn't. Not feeling that one. Not feeling that one at all. Okay, so I will say this, you know, like with most things in life, some things just take trust. It's a nice plane, 4459 Juliet. Performance-wise, it's for a Piper 140, and I want to say this is probably 150 or 160 horsepower. On this one, it's probably have an upgraded engine. My other one is supposedly also a 160. This one definitely performs a lot better. I'm not sure why that is, but you can definitely feel the performance in this one. But unlike my other one, I know my instrument panel works. Now, so what happens in aviation, right? So when you have your gyroscopic instruments, your stuff that needs, you know, airflow that comes from your pitot tube or your pitot mast, things like that. Mine's went haywire, and I don't think it was blocked, right? So one things that I have to make sure that I do when I do my walk around is remove that. That is a pitot mast for a Piper. Cherokees have a pitot tube, and that was removed, and I didn't have any blockages. It was working up until takeoff. Took off, we were good up until the point where we got over close to over the water, and then everything went haywire. And yeah, I don't know, I just didn't. It did come back. My altimeter was showing me a false reading as far as my altitude, and my attitude indicator was showing a crazy attitude, but I wasn't in a crazy attitude. So when I made a left turn to come back towards the airport, and I'm halfway in between at this point, in between Newport News and KPVG at that point, I just decided to turn back around and come home, just to be on the safe side of things. So I'm always going to play it safe, always. So I came back home. So now I probably have an hour's worth of solo, and I still have to do the flight to Newport News to finish up my requirements. So it's going to take a little bit longer than I thought, but I will get there eventually.